Everywhere you look, distracted walkers. Or are they?
We got you on your iPhone texting. Is that what you're doing?
Actually, I was looking on Craigslist. I'm usually paying attention, but I just look at my phone while I'm walking. I can pay attention to everything else at the same time for the most part.
From texting to talking to surfing the web from the palm of your hand, smartphones are a huge part of our lives, and many of us are too busy to slow down and sit down to take care of business.
I'm guilty of it. I don't know. He's had to stop me. Like, we'll be walking next to each other and he'll pull me aside if I'm about to walk into something or somebody.
When we set up our camera at St. John's Town Center, even I was caught in the act. Check out this guy. He looks up, but then right back down as he crosses the street with cars passing by. A few minutes later, he is still glued to his phone. And we spotted this woman across from the landing downtown. She looks up as she walks across the street, but then quickly turns back to her phone. We saw the same thing over and over and over again.
Guilty.
Do you text and drive?
Absolutely not.
Do you text and walk?
Now that I'll probably do a little. I'm guilty of that. Yes.
Has it crossed your mind as it being potentially dangerous?
Texting and walking? Nothing I've ever really thought about, but I don't think I've run into anything.
But according to the Consumer Product Safety Commission, distracted walking injuries have quadrupled in the past 7 years.
The CPSC looked at data from 100 emergency rooms and found more than 1,100 people were treated at hospitals last year for injuries they got while walking and using a mobile phone or other electronic device.
I can see where it's dangerous now that you think about it, because I do text and walk a lot, and you're not looking where you're going, you're not paying attention where you're going a lot, and I bumped into people before, and I bumped into pretty much doors, everything else, from time to time.
But you got to check that text, right?
Pretty much, the way they come in, texting is part of life now. So
it's not just adults who may be putting themselves in harm's way. The latest report from Safe Kids, a global nonprofit, shows that in 2009, 75% of 12 to 17-year-olds in the U.S. own cell phones. When it comes to those under the age of 19, teens are now most at risk of being injured as pedestrians. Safe Kids thinks that's likely related to distraction caused by the use of electronics and handheld devices. Injuries among 16 to 19-year-olds increased 25% over the previous 5 years.
We have more devices, in our hands. We have more devices in front of our faces, and a lot of our interaction is kind of not all around us, but right in front of us.
That's why Dr. Rich Westenbarger, an emergency medicine doctor at Shands, says he's not surprised the number of distracted walking injuries is on the rise. He says the range of injuries can vary from a simple sprain to much worse.
Really, the worst case scenario are things, when a pedestrian is struck by something larger, a car, a truck, those kind of things, and those injuries are very severe, and we actually see, unfortunately, fatalities with that as well.
Bottom line, you might want to think twice about using that handheld device while walking. If you don't, it could have serious consequences. Fortunately for the man in this video, a train or subway wasn't coming.
Does it make you think twice about checking a text, checking an email while you're walking?
It does now, but no, before I never really thought about it, It's kind of like walking and chewing gum at the same time, I guess,